for accepting our invite. I would like to introduce Dr. Shakir briefly. Dr. Shakir is an associate professor in the Department of Chemical Engineering at the University of Bahrain. He holds a baccalaureate from King Abdullah University and master's and PhD from University of Connecticut. He teaches several chemical engineering courses like chemical reactor design, thermodynamics, introduction to chemical engineering, process instrumentation, and fuel cell technology. He holds postgraduate certificate from academic practice from York St. John University, and he has 1 year in industrial assignments with the Research and Development Center from Saudi Aramco in Bahrain. And he has served as chairman of Department of Chemical Engineering from the years 2011 until 2015. He also has authored and co-authored many peer-reviewed articles and contributed a chapter in the book on fuel and fuel costing. His recent publication and research interests are in the area of water and energy application, including wastewater treatment, fossil fuel processing, renewable energy, and fuel cell technology. And now I'll be introducing Ms. Maha Fakhr, which is a senior engineer from Babco with 5 years experience, and she is an award winner of Lewis, the Rising Star, and she has been teaching in the process integration course here in the university. Okay, and Doctor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ali. Ali, is there a way I can show the camera with the my screen?
Yes, we can see both of them.
Oh, you can see both of them?
Yes.
Okay, tamam. Okay then, let me start by thanking you guys, SPE student chapters, for this great job and great activities that I've been following. So that's really a good sign, and something which you can see that is part of today's talk. Right. So today's talk is about chemical engineering education and career. I'll be talking about education, and inshallah, Ms. Maha, Engineer Maha, will be talking about career. Okay, I have basically 4 points to discuss with you. Hopefully I can finish every point in 5 minutes, and then of course toward the end, inshallah, there will be questions and answers. So we're going to talk about student outcomes, pillars of learning, type of workforces, and finally the 21st century skills. Okay, let me start with the student outcomes. Sure, maybe a lot of you guys know about student outcomes, which is the program intended learning outcomes, which is basically 7 of them. So these outcomes or objectives prepare you guys to enter the professional practice of engineering after finishing the program successfully. So this is something you learn throughout your program. Let me just go quickly over these outcomes. This is where the education part starts. So basically, throughout your program, you will be learning the following, or you will be gaining the following: the ability to identify, formulate, and solve complex engineering problems by applying principles of engineering, science, and mathematics. That's the first thing. Then we have the ability to apply engineering design to produce solutions that meet specified needs with consideration of public health, safety, and welfare, as well as global, cultural, social, environmental, and economic factors. So as you can see, the chemical engineering, we utilize our knowledge in engineering, science, and math. When it goes to sciences, chemistry, physics, biology, and we apply all of this to solve complex engineering problems. And then, of course, the bigger picture is that we really want to design, whether this design is for equipment or for a plant, and so on. The third student outcome or the objective of this program is the ability to communicate effectively with a large range of audiences. And the number 4, the ability to recognize ethical and professional responsibilities in engineering situations and make informed judgment, which must consider the impact of engineering solutions in global, economic, environmental, and societal contexts. So your judgment would be based on information that you have gained, okay, whether these information is related to your ethical or professional responsibilities. And then the ability to function effectively on a team whose members together provide leadership, create a collaborative and inclusive environment, establish goals, plan tasks, and meet objectives. Of course, if you have taken Lab 1 and Lab 2, you really understand what we mean by this objective, because in Lab 1 and Lab 2, you work all as a team. And then the ability to develop and conduct appropriate experimentation, again in Lab 1 and Lab 2. Analyze and interpret data. So it's not that you want to collect only data, you want to analyze the data, interpret the data, and use engineering judgment again to draw conclusions. So you see beyond numbers. And finally, the ability to acquire and apply new knowledge as needed using appropriate learning strategies. And this is something maybe you feel it in your 4th year. The amount of, let's say, teaching reduces, and the dependence on yourself will increase in acquiring new knowledge. Okay, so that was about the student outcomes. That's the first item on my agenda, which together we reviewed the relationship of chemical engineering education to the product of the BSc program, which is you guys. So basically, we are preparing you to the market, preparing you to start your career by equipping you with these objectives, with these capabilities. Okay, and of course, this is all we're talking about, these skills that you have learned through your program. We are talking about achieving such capabilities or abilities through the curriculum. Okay, now I'm gonna continue with the same, talking about the necessary skills. However, I'm gonna talk about it from different point of view. So we first talked about the point of view of the curriculum. Okay, now we're going to talk about point of view of educators, the people who educates you, whether the teachers or the faculty in the university. So from their point of view, okay, they say that there are 4 pillars of learning that you should really base your learning upon. And here basically I'm summarizing a report which was written by Delors, okay, and it was submitted to the UNESCO. And this basically here, they talk about learning pillars. What are these learning pillars that your learning depends on? First, learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and finally learning to live together. So let's take in details what each basically mean. Learning to know. Okay, this is something you should learn. So what to learn? Learning how to know. So basically becoming lifelong learners. This is very important because when you graduate, there are no faculty or instructors instructing you on what to do or what not to do or how to learn or teach you. No, not anymore. So you need to become a lifelong learner by developing concentration skills, memorization skills, research skills, the capacity for abstract thoughts, again going beyond numbers, intellectual curiosity, كن فضوليا, okay, and finally logical problem solving. As we discussed in the reactor design course, we do not really teach you in the university which equation to use when. We base our solving problem skills on logic. Okay, what comes next? Learning to do. So you should learn a few things to do. What to do? Okay, here we're talking about personal competence, okay, and not just certified or occupational skills. What is the difference between the personal competence and the occupational skills? Certified skills are skills needed for a specific job and are often taught in vocational schools. For example, welding, liham, carpentry, data analysis. Okay, all of these you'll get some certificates. Okay, because you're going to use these skills in your occupation. But here we're talking beyond this, which is developing your personal capability to do something. So personal competence includes certified skills, but also encompasses general life skills and traits like initiative, being initiative, willingness to risk, time management, communication, innovation, leadership, and teamwork. Again, this sometimes happens. I don't know why this happens. Anyway, okay. Then the third pillar of learning is learning to live together. So one should have an awareness of the similarities and interdependence of all people. So you shouldn't really go about it with a clash, concentrate on similarities between you and your colleagues, and also acknowledge the interdependence. You need me and I need you, okay? And understand others by looking at things from their point of view. This is very important. I'm not saying you should adapt their style of life, but at least look at their opinion from their point of view. Also take opportunities to work together on projects with common goals. And here I would like to add, when people work together on exciting projects, differences and even conflicts between individuals tend to pale and sometimes disappear. And finally, the final pillar is learning to be. And here, education should contribute to every person's complete development. So it's really developing you as a person. It's who you are in terms of mind and body, intelligence, sensitivity, aesthetic appreciation. Okay, you appreciate the beauty of things, and spirituality. And maybe you're familiar with this already. Even in Islamic culture, we say when you perform your spiritual rituals, you should first educate yourself on what to do, what is the proper way of doing it, and so on. So education should cover all these aspects in you, mind and body, intelligence, and so on. More actually is needed to equip students to make up their own minds on the best courses of action in the different circumstances in their life. So you will need to take a decision, and you will need to live with its consequences. Okay, you need to be responsible. Okay, as you saw, Shabab, I explained about few traits, skills that you should learn, okay, from the curriculum point of view, and also from the educator's point of view. And you can see, Shabab, they are almost similar. It's only the wording is different, the arrangement is different, and so on. Okay, now I'm going to switch gear to work forces, type of work forces. There are two kinds of people who would work later on. There are knowledge possessors, so they have all their knowledge in their mind, okay, or on their laptop. and there are knowledge workers. And Shabab here, I would like to ask anyone, who would you like to be, Shabab?
Knowledge worker.
Knowledge worker, exactly. You want to be the second one. The time of knowledge possessors is gone. Now the knowledge is available everywhere and for free. Okay, now it's the time of knowledge workers. Okay, let's get closer and know who these people are. Okay, so the following is from the book The Leader in Me. I recommend everyone to read, and it's the authors are Stephen Covey. Anyone knows about this author? Stephen Covey. Shabab. The 7 habits of, the title of the other book, what's the title? 7 habits of Shino Shabab?
Highly effective.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, right. So let's get to know who are the knowledge workers. They are the inventors, designers, big picture thinkers, meaning makers. Okay, they make meaning out of the data, out of the information that are available. They are pattern recognizers. They are those who know how to analyze, optimize, synthesize, present, and do worthwhile things with facts. They are also good listeners and team builders. They are able to understand the subtleties of human interaction. Now we are going to the soft skills, okay? To find joy in one's self. So they enjoy what they do. If they don't enjoy it, they change their career, they change their education path, okay? And not only they enjoy it, they also elicit it in others. They stimulate joy in others. They may not know all the facts themselves, okay, that's not a shortage. They may not know all the facts themselves, but do know how to bring the right people together to assemble the facts and derive solutions. They are those who have empathy skills, تعاطف مع الناس, and can leverage people's opinions and talents in a positive way. Okay, in other words, they not only have the ability to work with knowledge, but they also have, what do you think, Shabab? What they also have?
The ability to work with people.
نعم صح. Which is known as good people skills. They have good people skills. Okay. Now we go to the last item in my agenda. That is talking about the 21st century skills. So what employers want, okay? What kind of skills they want the graduates or the employees to have, okay? Again, Shabab, I'm going to talk about the same thing, but from the point of view of the employer, okay? And when it comes, Shabab, to 21st century skills, you'll find lots of groups, lots of organizations, establishment, universities have really summarized these and compiled these 21st century skills. So they will be different from a place to place, okay? But I put few here that you can really read about, okay? So what are these? The 21st century skills compromise skills, abilities, okay, مهارات, قدرات, and learning dispositions, okay? This is how they learn, okay? They have been identified as being required for success in 21st century society and workplaces. So these are required in living in your society and the places that you work on. and it's been identified by educators, business leaders, academics, and governmental agencies. So in some cases, Shabab, all of representatives from all of these institutes came together and summarized and compiled these skills. طيب, I'm sure you want to know what these skills are because you want to learn them, okay? And you will learn them through your program, okay? Through the student outcomes that we measure, okay? And we emphasize on during your program. And hopefully by the exit time, you will have these skills. Here, Shabab, I took the 12 skills, which was summarized by an institute called Applied Educational Systems. So what are these 12 skills? Well, they were categorized into 3 categories. The first category is the learning skills, okay, or some people call it the 4 C's, which is critical thinking, which is finding solutions to problems. And that's what we engineers do, right? We're always looking for solution to problems, to the extent sometimes even if there is no problem, we create a problem and then try to find a solution, okay? Creativity, thinking outside the box. Collaboration, working with others, okay? Communication, talking to others, okay? So there is no room for people say, you know what, I don't like to work in groups. No, not anymore, Shabab, not anymore. The second category is literacy skills, okay, and encompasses these 3 skills: information, which is understanding facts, figures, statistics, and data; media, okay, understanding the methods and outlets in which all this information are shared with others, presented and shared; technology, understanding the machines that make the info age the way it is now, okay? So we are in an information era, and we need technology to utilize, okay? What else? Life skills, okay? We have here 5 of them. Flexibility, that is deviating from plans as needed. One need to be flexible and not rigid. Leadership, okay? Motivating a team to accomplish a goal, okay? I would like to bring up a story here. One time I had a senior project with a group of students, and the leader of the senior project, actually, I told him after a month of working with him, then I told him, if I had an engineering firm, and if I had a business, an engineering business, I will never hire you, because he was so weak. He was so weak in his engineering sense and knowledge, okay? But time went by, okay, and the team accomplished actually the aim, okay, accomplished the objective, which was to assemble a fuel cell car with a given specification. And him being the leader and having excellent, or I should say extraordinary leadership skills, he made that this will happen through the knowledge of the other students working with him. And he also actually applied for an international competition, and actually we won I think it was the 2nd or 3rd place internationally with the project. So see how, you know, all of these skills are really important. Initiative, Shabab. It's very important that you should be an initiative person, starting projects, strategies, plans on your own. Productivity, maintaining efficiency in the age of distraction. Now, Shabab, everyone's distracted. Yeah, take an example method, WhatsApp. Okay, it can distract you from your work, but it's required, Shabab, that you maintain your productivity. And finally, the social skills, which is meeting and networking with others for mutual benefits. Okay, so there's a mutual benefit when you from networking. Okay, and again, I would like to emphasize here, we're not talking about being opportunistic person. Okay, مصلحتي لا your relationship would continue even after your work together. Okay, but make sure that all the people involved with you would benefit. It would be a win-win situation. Okay, with this, I finalize my talk and I leave the floor to my colleague, Engineer Maha, and inshallah, I believe there will be a session for question and answer after that.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Firstly, I would like to thank the organizers for having me, and thank you everyone for joining. I can see my colleagues and some of my students from last year, so happy to see you. I don't have any presentation slides, so it's just going to be me talking, and we'll have the Q&A at the end. So my name is Maha Fakhro. I'm a process engineer at the Bahrain Petroleum Company, BOPCO. I also previously taught as a part-time lecturer at the University of Bahrain for the Chemical Engineering Department. So my background is in chemical engineering. I studied in the UK at the University of Manchester. My degree was 4 years long. I did the MEng course, Masters of Engineering, which was 3 years bachelor and 1 year master's. So I'm gonna talk from my own personal experience and kind of bridge with the topic that Dr. Shalker spoke about. And I'll give you like tips about what I think you should do at university and what I'm currently doing at BOPCO. So chemical engineering, fortunately, is one of the courses that opens up a lot of doors for you. It's very diverse. You can go into like typical refining careers such as oil and gas at BOPCO or petrochemicals. You can also focus on optimization if you have an affinity for mathematics and mathematical modeling. And I have two of my colleagues in this conversation who are focused on that. So if you have questions for them later. You can also go into different aspects if you join the refinery. There's an environmental group, there's a safety group. And it doesn't just stop at that. Chemical engineering can go into different industries such as food, pharmaceuticals, even beauty products. And a lot of people also diverge and go to like finance and banking. So it's a degree that will open up a lot of doors for you, and there's a lot to explore. And I push you to pursue and find out what you want to do, even if you think it's too early from now on. So I'll cover these points in a bit. So as you might already be aware, chemical engineering is a challenging course. It requires hard work and commitment. The things you study in first year, like the mass balance and heat transfer, are your building blocks, and you need to understand them clearly in order to progress and do well in your second year, third year, and fourth year. And as Dr. Shalker said, the more you go into your academic career, third year, fourth year, you'll have to be more independent and learn on your own more. So you have to have a strong foundation for that. So I'll go over my tips now that I'd like to share with you. My first one goes back to the independent learning. So what I noticed from my university year, and actually while I was teaching at the University of Bahrain, is one of the main things that differentiates like a good student from like a student that excels and does really well is to be curious. So taking what you learn in class and reading more about it and around it. So if you don't understand something, you go and dig deeper. You look for YouTube videos, you find books at the library, and you read more about the topic. And even if you do understand something, picking up a book and learning more about it, asking yourself, like, why am I learning this? What am I benefiting from it, from my career? I think understanding the significance of what you're learning is very important. So for myself, I used to go to the library a lot, and I actually, the books I used during first year, I still use in my career today. So some of the basic concepts that you learn now, for example, when I learned about like distillation at university, and I wanted to understand it more, I picked up Norman Lieberman's book, and I really recommend his books for chemical engineers. He would describe things that would happen in a refinery in such a simple way. For example, like a kettle reboiler, he used like, I still remember this, I read this 8 years ago. He used mushroom soup to like describe the process of partial pressure and how a reboiler works. And that like stuck with me since. So it's really good to have the foundation and understandings from your first year, and find the books that resonate with you, the books that make you like get things instantly. So I really urge you to read around the topic, explore more, and don't just rely on your lecture notes. Other books I still use, if you want to write them down, David Himmelblau's Chemical Engineering Design, Process Heat Transfer by Kern. These are books that I really learned a lot from, and I still use sometimes. My second point is I would encourage you to take on extracurricular activities, whether it's a sports, a club, a society. I know it's never easy to juggle like an academic career with like something on the side, but it's possible, and it's going to help you a lot in the long term, especially with your soft skills. So as Dr. Shakir said, you need communication, you need organization skills, you need time management. So these extra activities that you do on the side, even if they're not exactly technical, like even if you join a sports club or join something that's not really relevant to chemical engineering, they'll really help you with your soft skills, and also for your CV and for your interviews. It will make you stand out. So I urge you to join an extracurricular activity. My third point is to try to get a mentor if you can. There are many people around you who would love to share their experiences and knowledge, and it could be eye-opening for you as well, things you never thought about. I'm not sure if there's a mentoring program at the university. Maybe Dr. Shakir can talk about that if there is, but I urge you if you have the option. My fourth tip is to do training during the summer. Try leaving your paper anywhere, try LinkedIn. I urge you to find something to fill up your time in the summer. It's very important. It will give you exposure. Maybe even you really like working there. Maybe you can land a job after you graduate. And it will also give you a taste of the work environment. Is this what you like to do? If not, maybe you find something else you're passionate about. So it's very beneficial in terms of networking and also building your career early on. So to get to point number 5, I know this might be early, but plan ahead for your job. Try to research the market, find out what is there, what's offered. Don't just jump into things without like reading more about it, researching. So for example, for me, when I was in high school, I wanted to do chemistry as a major. And I asked people around me, like, what do you think? People who are more experienced, more knowledgeable. And they told me, like, what are you going to do after you graduate with your chemistry degree? And I did actually look, and it was limited in terms of career paths. So now looking back, I'm glad I did chemical engineering because it's actually more of what I like. And the market is like very diverse for what I want to get into. So even if you're in first year, do your research, ask around, try to find out what's there for you, what's in the market. So even if you want to go to like an environmental career path, what can I do? What can I read? What are the jobs that are available for me? try to find out from now. So you can put time and effort into something that you're passionate about, that you like, and you know it exists. Like you won't spend time learning about something that is not in the market and then it puts you off. So ask people around you, do a quick Google search. LinkedIn will give you a lot of options as well. And my last tip is to find a balance between studying and taking some time off for yourself. Mental well-being is very important. It's okay to take a break. So I know it's a stressful course, and with the exams, assignments, and everything going on, study hard, but remember to take a break every once in a while. Regarding my career, I started in 2017 at the Technical Services Department at Bobco, and I can assure you that the learning journey does not end there. So far, I've been involved in 3 different groups. As a process engineer, our task is to monitor the processes every day, ensure that the parameters are operating normally and our products are on specification. So we look at things like temperature, pressure, we look at the material balance, lab analysis results. If there is anything off specification or any problems, we need to troubleshoot, we need to find out the root cause. So there's a lot of analytical thinking, problem solving, attentiveness to details. And otherwise, if things are stable, we also look into optimization. So we try to study our processes, how to operate more with higher efficiency and with less cost. So when I started off at the Technical Services Department, I was in the crude and vacuum distillation group. And I'm sure you guys, distillation, some of you have studied it, some of you not. It's exactly what you learned at university. It's applied to the job. So what you learn is applicable if you decide to go to like a refinery. So the crude and vacuum distillation group was responsible for the crude oil coming in and separating it into different products, if you're familiar with naphtha, kerosene, diesel, and so on. And after 2 years, I moved to the sulfur recovery and amine treating group. So this was more environmentally focused group. So instead of emitting sulfur to the environment, we'd convert it to sulfur pellets, and this would be used for different products. This also requires different reactions and absorption, which is another topic learned at university. And recently I shifted to the diesel hydrotreating and platforming group, which produces low sulfur diesel and the gasoline, you know, for cars such as Jade and Mumtaz. And we also use catalysts to convert the impurities in the diesel and gasoline to make them usable and up to government standards and market needs. So what you just listened briefly about my short career is all things that you studied at universities: distillation, separation, there's heat transfer, catalytic reactions, they're still applicable. And they're like chemical engineering is one of those courses where what you study at university is applicable to the real world, depending on the job, of course. And these are just some of the groups that I just told you about, or just some of the ones available in the department. So there's like many options to explore. So as process engineers, we're also involved in the turnaround and inspections, which is basically a plant shutdown. So part of the refinery is closed down, emptied from all the crude oil hydrocarbons. And then we as process engineers have to enter these equipment and do inspections to ensure the reliability and the maintenance of the equipment. So if you guys are going down like Elba Highway and to your left, you see these like large columns and equipment. Basically, if you do decide to pursue a process engineering career path, you'll have to do that as well. So it's a very tiring and messy part of the job, but if you're passionate about it, it's very interesting. You learn a lot from it. You get to be inside these equipments, the distillation columns, you get to see the trays, the heat exchangers, tubes, and shells. So very, very applicable to what you're studying at university. And lastly, I wanted to talk about my teaching opportunity at University of Bahrain. So this opportunity came from UOB and was conveyed to the BOPCO management. I took on the challenge to become an adjunct lecturer at the university to teach process integration. And I had to read a lot. I had to prepare lecture slides, tests, and assignments. I spent my weekends and evenings working on it and trying to deliver the best material to the students. So it was a whole new responsibility. There was so much to learn, but it was a very rewarding experience, and I greatly benefited from it. And I hope my students did too. So what I would like to say is that chemical engineering is a very rewarding career path. However, in today's market, you need to take that extra step. You need to do some self-learning. You need to be involved in extracurricular activities. You need to, I would say, maybe struggle a bit more, work a bit harder. There's no stopping to learning, especially when passion is there. Get involved. Make sure to plan ahead, know what you like and plan for it. And always ask questions. Why am I studying this? How will I use this knowledge in the future? What is the market looking for? And what do I like to do? So no matter which academic year you're in, I urge you to consider this. And if you haven't already, it's never too late. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Maha and Dr. Shawkir. It was very interactive and very useful discussion. It was very insightful. And we are now open for questions and answers. We'll start with the audience, and then we'll go to the questions that were sent to us. Yes, Ahmed, go ahead.
At first, I would like to thank Dr. Shakir and Ms. Maha for sharing their experience. Dr. Shakir, I have two questions about the slide you shared. May I ask?
Sure, go ahead.
Do you prefer them in English or Arabic?
I don't know the audiences, but if you can say it in English, go ahead and ask in English.
Sure. About when you were talking about the student outcome, you talked about lab 1 and 2. What were they exactly?
Okay. Well, in that specific example that I gave, it was related to teamwork, leadership, planning, and all of these skills that you will be applying in lab 1 and lab 2. Of course, you will apply it in other courses as well, but it's also like plan design project. That's something also, that's another course that you will apply these skills in.
Yes, Doctor, and about the teamwork. For an example, if I was in a team and there is kind of a misunderstanding between me and my colleagues, or they don't do the exact work they are asked to do, what do you advise me to do then?
Okay, probably Dr. Qais and Dr. Dhakir are the best person to ask, because they have developed already some procedures toward such attitude. However, I will start by saying, even this is a good opportunity for you. So don't view it as a negative thing which happened to you or to your colleague. Okay, it's a good opportunity, because eventually in your actual life you will face such people. We call them free riders. Okay, so in this case, of course, if they refuse to do their job, then there will be a redistribution of tasks among your group, and there should be some clarity about it with an instructor. You would say, well, this is what happened. We worked together, but so and so refused to work with us, so we redistributed the task, and this is our name. And I believe this is something done in the report as well, or clarified in the report, where everyone states the percentage of time he or she put in the work. However, I would like to add one thing here, which is, imagine you have worked through the whole, let's say 5 experiment, or in the plan design project, you worked so far in 5 tasks, and then there is the last task, okay? And for some reason, your colleague couldn't really perform at his or her usual performance, okay? So you don't clash here with your colleague. Everybody goes through problems, okay? You can really help your colleague in his or her task to deliver it in the best way happening, without reporting this to the manager or to the instructor, him or herself, because this is not a habit. Okay, clearly it wasn't a habit, because he or she was practicing or participating with full power throughout the whole task. It is an emergency thing happen, and it did not happen to a bad extent. Okay, it happened to a small extent, and then when you helped your colleague, he responded well and participated back in the team. So I hope I clarified some practicality of these such situations. Yeah.
Yes, sure, Doctor. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, Fatima.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
دكتور، أنا مبتدئة يعني أول سنة في الهندسة الكيميائية، بس للحين ما دخلت في مواد التخصص، فكنت دائما أسأل يعني قبل لا أدش التخصص عن مواد التخصص وطبيعة العمل شلون بتكون عقب وكذي. فكانوا دائما يقولوا لي عن مادة اسمها تشنج اللي هي Introduction for Chemical Engineering. دائما يقولون لي إن هي صعبة، أو إنه صعب نجيب درجات عالية وكذي، فصرت أخاف منها. فأبيك يعني تعطيني نصايح أو شيء كذي عشان أضمن الA في هالمادة.
Okay. There is something, Fatma, called preconceived notion. Okay, this is when people, have a notion or an opinion about something before even they start. Okay, there is no harm of asking the people before you have experience, but at the end of the day, everyone has his own experience with different events, okay, or different courses. I was teaching this course, and it's a lovely course. It's we use a very easy book, Felder, written by Professor Felder, and it really puts the foundation for you. It lays the foundation in front of you. As we emphasized, Ms. Mohan and myself, that make sure that you like what you do, you enjoy what you do. You ask yourself, is this something which I want to do? So in this course, it's really the best time to ask yourself, because on this course you get flavor of many courses. Okay, and then here you ask yourself, is this something that I would like to do in the coming 4 years? Okay, or this is something that's not my flavor. I don't like this. I want to shift to another discipline. So go ahead, take the decision from now if you figure that out. Because also you will be dealing with a similar situation in industry. Okay, you will be dealing with material, you're dealing with energy, and you will be dealing with people. Maybe you will not deal with people in 111, okay, but eventually you will do. So it's better. As I said, it's a good engagement period where the department gets to know you and you get to know the department. So welcome again, Fatima.
شكرا دكتور.
حياك الله.
Yes, Mariam.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank both our speakers for today. Thank you for your time and thank you for the informative speeches. My first question, actually, I only have one question, and it's directed to either Dr. Fakir or Dr. Maha. I want to hear from your experience. As a fourth-year student, I am soon to have my training, and I'm soon to be, left into the market in order to find for a job, hopefully. So my question is, when it comes to recruitment, does a recruiter prefer a person with a high GPA or an excellent GPA, but no curriculars, or a person, let's say, with a competitive GPA, however, they possess all the soft skills that are that you have mentioned throughout the seminar?
Engineer Mahal, go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah, sure. Mariam, a good question. If you think about it, you're going to be like one recruiter, one CV out of like maybe 50 or over applicants. So what I would say is an excellent GPA is definitely an eye grabber, and they will have a second look at your CV. But at the same time, your employer is looking for someone with soft skills as well, to be able to progress in your career. So having a competitive GPA with extracurricular activities and other trainings, I think is more important to have your technical and soft skills. I'm not saying that an excellent GPA is discouraging. It's also something that is considered. But if you have like multiple CVs to look at and multiple people applying, you want to find people with some unique skills, technical, soft experience for the prosperity of the company. So it's so I would say having both is more important, I'd say, in this competitive market. Yeah, hope I answered your question.
Yeah, yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Maha, there's a question in the chat. I was targeted to you. It says, if I get a job in the refinery, what are the things I need to know?
Okay. Can the person who asked be a bit more specific? If they can open their mic or write a bit more. Oh.
Okay. Meanwhile, can we go over the questions that are sent in the form? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
I'll target to both of you if you want to answer it. Regarding the master's degree, how helpful would it be, and when would be the right time to get it?
Dr. Shakir, do you want to start with this question? Okay. Doctor, if you're talking, you're on mute or we can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the mic is working, but it seems it wasn't. Okay. Yeah, I was saying, Engineer Maha, you can go ahead and start answering the question.
Okay, sure. So, sorry, can you hear my
Yes, Doctor, can you mute yourself?
Yeah, so I did the master's course immediately after my bachelor's. I knew I was going to work at Bobco, so a straight-run chemical engineering degree was useful. But I think it's better if you get some work experience after your bachelor's and see what your preferences are, what you're more passionate about. And then the master's degree can be like a specialization, because what I'm doing currently as a process engineer at Bobco, a bachelor's degree is enough for that. So then again, it comes to whether you know what you want to do in your career path or you're still exploring. So my answer would be to maybe work a few years, maybe 2 years or 3 years, see what you're more passionate about, and then specialize in something. If you want a career that is already specialized, maybe going for a master's immediately can be helpful, but I think work experience before that is more important.
Thank you. Dr. Shawk, if you would like to add anything.
Yeah, I actually totally agree with Engineer Maha. Always ask yourself, Shabab, why do you need to take a master? Okay, if it's only to get a certificate, then I'm totally against it. Okay, you should know why. If you are working in a place, as Engineer Maha said, maybe you're working in the engineering department and the technical services. Okay, and there is really a need to enhance your knowledge in a specific region, a specific specialization. Then it also it will be very helpful to do that. Sometimes actually getting certificates are much better than getting a master degrees, because with the certificates they are so specialized in the thing that you want. Okay, for example, programming. Okay, that's very specialized. So you take a certificate in programming. There is no need for a master's degree, especially that you will get busier and busier with time. So I agree. You should really work first, and then decide on if you want to do masters or certificates, or no, I want to excel in my own company with going through their programs. So that's also an opportunity. However, if you want to join the academia, then you might find yourself with little options, that you need to join the master degree and PhD degree right after the BSc. Or if you're gonna get an experience at work, then probably you shouldn't work more than a year, because if you stayed in a work for more than a year, then it will be very difficult to leave work and the luxury of salary and go to pursue your graduate studies.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. The next question. What skills should we develop now that could help us in our career? Okay, so I guess you're again basically going back to the 21st century skills. Okay, that's what I explained. So if you can focus on these, okay, which can be summarized, as we said, in soft people skills and knowledge and information, media, and technology. Okay, then please do so, and don't spare any time. I guess I can share my presentation with Ali, Shukrallah, and then he can also share it with you, so you have it there, and you have the references which I used, and you can go back to it. That would be great. Ms. Maha, if you would like to add anything.
Yeah, sure. Just like university and your lecture slides and all that, they're going to teach you the technical knowledge you need. But in order to develop your soft skills, you need to do extra work around it. So if you're part of societies and clubs, you'll get the soft skills naturally with time. So again, I urge everyone to do some extra things on the side.
This actually matter, I would like to bring the Toastmasters. Have you heard about Toastmasters? This is something you would love, maybe you would like to need to join to enhance your presentation skills and communication skills. And as Engineer Moha said, any extracurricular activity, anything. Okay, when I was a student, actually, I was joining the student activities in the university at least 3 days a week. At least. And the day that I don't join student activities, I study less. Yeah, to be honest. So you would really need to join extracurricular activities. You really need to take part of activities outside the classroom.
Dr. you also have in JAWS doing things for the students.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also really good to learn from and networking as well and gaining soft skills.
Mm-hmm. True.
Totally agree. What has been your career path?
Mine is shorter than Dr. Shakir, so I'll just start. As soon as I graduated from university, I joined Babco and the technical services. I've been over 4 years, and as I already said, I changed 3 groups, and each one has been different. Even if we're in the same department, there's so much process technologies to learn about, and yeah, and there's other groups I didn't talk about as well. There's the hydrocracking, there's the resid hydrocracking, there's the utilities group, there's the energy group. There's also the safety department. So there's a lot to look forward to if you continue on this path.
Okay.
As for me, already, Shabab, mine was straightforward. From kindergarten to PhD, one straight path. But yeah, so I did my BSc in the region in Saudi Arabia, and then I joined, and it was a good opportunity that I was in the region. And then I joined for master's and PhD in the United States, which also I believe it was really a good opportunity. I always recommend people who can leave the region to do their master's and PhD. I highly recommend them to do so. I worked 1 year in Aramco Research and Development, and was really a good opportunity for me to get exposed to the industry. And summer training, actually summer training was wonderful. I took 3 summer trainings. So if you can, Shabab, do that. Okay, don't waste time. You will learn a lot. You will learn a lot through summer training.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.
This is an interesting question. Why did you choose this industry? I think for Maha, she already talked about it, and Doctor, you're muted.
Okay, it's out of passion. And why did I join academia? It's out of passion. Till today, I don't feel that I'm coming to work. I feel I'm coming to where I want to be. So still I'm learning, still I'm teaching. So it's very important, Shabab, that you get yourself into a career that you feel comfortable with, that you enjoy. And without enjoyment, what is life? What you're gonna give, even for the industry that you're working in.
Absolutely. What are your career aspirations? Or aspirations?
Okay, Engineer Maha, maybe you can always start and then I follow you because you're our guest.
Okay, sure. My career aspirations right now, I'm in the early stages of my career, so I still would like to acquire more knowledge and then maybe become like an industry expert. So that's in the long term after I've gained a lot of knowledge about energy and the refinery and the details and getting involved in different projects. So in the long run, I'd like to be like a technology expert in these processes. Yeah.
As for me, my ambition is to see products in the society. So I would like to add to the society. I would like to change the society to a better place. We say if you don't add to the society, then you're merely, just a number, just an addition. يعني إذا إن لم تضف للمجتمع فأنت مجرد إضافة يعني just a number يعني. Being again in the academia, it's very satisfying to see our products, which are you guys, every year, and then this product is really flourishing. We see lots of you guys reaching to the positions of managers, positions of business owners. This is really satisfying. Of course, this is not because of us. It's because of the perseverance of the person, of the students, and so. But we are glad that we were part of that. But also, I would like to see us and the academia faculty contributing more to real life problems, contributing more to actual products, spin-off maybe companies, and so on. And inshallah, we'll see that inshallah.
Muhammad, I think he has a question. Muhammad Hussein, you can go ahead.
Yes, thank you. هالسؤال موجه للكل يعني اللي عنده جواب. باعتبار ان احنا السنه رابعه كيميكال انجينيرز، اعتقد اهم شيء حاليا بالنسبه لنا التدريب العملي واللي راح نقدمه باذن الله في الصيف. فسؤالي ان اول شيء شنو احنا قاعدين نسوين كمتدربين، يعني شنو متوقعين نسوي في المستقبل في التدريب العملي وككيميكال انجينيرز طبعا، يعني متوقع ان نسوي مثلا يعني اعمال ورقيه وهالامور، اشغال مكتبيه، ولكن في نفس الوقت متوقع ان تكون اشياء لها دخل في الكيميكال انجينيرنج بشكل عام. والسؤال الثاني ان احنا نعرف ان لازم نوسع نطاق معرفتنا بالناس، نحاول نشارك اكثر في الفعاليات وكل هالامور، بس شنو الاشياء اللي مثلا ما فكرنا فيها ونحتاج نسويها؟ هذين السؤالين يعني حق الدكتوره مها ودكتور شاكر.
اوكي. عندك اي فكرة في وين بتدرب في الصيف ولا you're applying؟
وباعتبار ان عندنا كل هالشركات فصعب الواحد يختار من الحين، خاصة تونا او لا يعني تاريخ 31 بيبتدي التسجيل في يعني عند الدكتور رائد والدكتور محمد بن شمس، بيدورون لنا على اماكن نشتغل فيهم، بس حاليا لا ما في شيء يعني جدا مفتوح المجال.
اوكي. هو في during your training period it depends on which department you'll be in, but you will be exposed to the daily tasks. يعني if you join the technical services department, you will learn about the process technology. You will see how we monitor the refinery. You'll do paperwork just to expose you to what you need to know in the future. Anywhere you go, make sure to always ask questions. Like just don't sit in your office and like just count the hours لما يعني اليوم يخلص وترجع البيت إنك كملت training. No. I would say be annoying, ask questions, be curious. If they use any books, refer to them, use them, see what your bosses are doing at that job. Try to learn from them, see what they do, maybe do a job shadowing as well, if it's allowable. So it's really entirely up to you. So how much effort you put, you're gonna learn. How much questions you ask them, that's how much you're gonna receive back. So no matter where you go, it depends on the nature of their work. Try to be as curious as you can and learn from it as much as you can. And then even ask about what job openings they have. Ask what they ask, like find out what they ask in interviews. Try to ask things outside of the box as well. So keep in mind that if you actually do like the place and you train there, they might hire you if they like you as well. So try to learn as much as you can during your training period. And hopefully you'll gain a lot of technical knowledge and experience.
Thank you.
I would totally agree with all the valuable information feedback you gave, Engineer Mahan, and would like to add a few things, Shabab. Make sure you come to your workplace before the time, and make sure you leave after the time. Don't be so eager to come, just on time and leave a few minutes before. So discipline, show that you are a disciplined person. And that's why, Shabab, I take attendance in the first few minutes. And if you come late, you're absent. It's not because I care about registering all of these names. It's just because this is the right time to learn discipline. Treat it as an opportunity for you to be recruited in that place. They don't need you to do anything. Okay, and some places, they will not even care teaching you anything. That's the reality. They're too busy with their own work. But make sure that you utilize every second, every minute to learn, okay, and add to yourself and to show that you are that person that is eager to learn and eager to help, and not a person that you just come punch in and punch out.
Tamam. Thank you, Doctor.
Make sure you shine your shoes as well.
Of course, you have to look good as you can.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to ask actually is how much we utilize our chemical engineering discipline inside the job. Looking back لأغلب المواد اللي درسناهم في لهم تطبيقات ودرسنا هالتطبيقات، خاصة مثل ما قلت في لاب 1 لاب 2 إن شاء الله بناخذه. عاد في بعض الأشياء بعد شلون أفكر فيها قاعدين نطبقها في الواقع ما تركب. فكم نسبة استخدامنا لهالمعلومات في الواقع في المجال العمل؟ مثلا في بعض يختلف طبعا باب كولج PIC لا بعد شركات ثانية ممكن أصغر أو غير معروفة يختلف النسبة، بس بشكل عام أي قد إحنا بنستفيد من كل هالمواد اللي أخذناها، شو المواد اللي بنستخدمها بشكل أكبر من مواد ثانية. أعتقد الثيرموداينامكس والهيت وهالأمور
It depends on where you go. Me at Bobco, maybe 70% of what I studied at university, I'm applying it. I'm still using the same books. I still refer to them today. Even my seniors still refer to these books. So if you go into a refinery job, it's very, very applicable. And this is very unique to chemical engineering because a lot of majors are completely different than what you do in the real world. So I would say, 70% of what you learned, you will keep with you. And then if you don't, if you go into a job that's not refining, if you go into a different industry or job type, you will still get those skills you learned, like problem solving, analytical thinking, mathematical concepts, you still carry them with you, even if you don't go into refining and do something exactly like you studied at university. But if you're looking to go into refining, like GPIC, ELBA, Babco, Banagas, most of what you learn now, you will apply it.
Good to know.
Actually, I don't have anything to add except for one thing which I always tell my students. Okay, what if you did not work in the technical part of the plant or of your workplace? Then still you will need, for example, if you are a shift supervisor, still you will need the major concept, the basic concepts of chemical engineering. You would want to know why the pressure is going up, why the temperature is not going up as fast as I thought it will go during the startup. You will not be asked to do calculations. You will not need to do calculations, but at least you should make sense out of things. You should reason through the behavior of your plant. So even if you don't need the technicality, you will need the basic concept. Not to mention, as Engineer Maha said, we have graduates actually working in banks. Okay, why? And they thanked us for recommending one of our graduates, because you guys go with the technical skills, with the analytical mind that other people maybe did not face rigorously during their study. So have confidence that whatever you study, in a way or another, you will need it, whether it was a technical or the soft skills.
Thank you, Dr. Mariam, you can go ahead.
Yes. Since we're still in the realm of training and working, from your experience, both Dr. Shakir and Dr. Maha, what would you say is the biggest culture shock or the biggest expectation that we should learn or know when transitioning from a stage of being a student to a stage of being an employee or a worker in the workforce?
So I think Dr. Shakir touched upon this when he said that when you move from a learning environment to the real world, there won't be like teachers guiding you and faculty helping you. It's going to be you on your own. So what you have to offer in terms of technical knowledge, in terms of soft skills, and what you can do for the company. So that's going to be the biggest change. You don't have anyone guiding you. You will be taught like what you do as a job description, what you do daily tasks, but it all comes down to you and your own responsibility. I think that's the biggest factor. Learning how to. So basically, when you're in third year, fourth year, when you start to self-learn more than rely on the teacher, that's very important. When you go out of your way to do self-learning, when you watch YouTube videos, when you go to read books, that is a skill that you will need to acquire and carry on with you in your career, because no one's going to spoon feed you anymore. No one's going to hold your hand and show you the way. It's completely independent, more responsibility. So these are things that you actually will learn in university in your final years, and make sure to make the most out of it. Teach yourself how to ask questions. Even at work, no one's gonna come to you and tell you do this like step by step. They're gonna give you the task, but you can always go and ask someone more experienced. There's always someone who's willing to help. So it's a big transition in terms of responsibility and independency, I would say. Dr. Shakir?
Actually, I don't have anything to add. You heard it all the important stuff.
Thank you, Maha. Hussein Saleh.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
دكتور شلونك؟ شو اخبارك؟ طيب؟
حياك الله سعداء برؤيتك.
الله يعطيكم الصحة والعافية. أستاذة مها الله يعطيك الصحة والعافية على هاي البرزنتيشن، صراحة ممتع وكان يعني وايد مفيد وانترستنج حتى بالنسبة لنا كموظفين وخريجين كيميكال انجينيرنج. نتمنى يعني كل التوفيق حق الشباب والطلاب المقبلين على التخرج والمقبلين على التخصص واللي يدرسون في التخصص.
الله يعافيك.
ونشكر الشباب يعني في الستودنت شابتر SPE يونيفرسيتي اوف بحرين، يعني الحمد لله احنا فخورين بهم جدا جدا. فيعني بس ندخل عليكم هاي المداخلة البسيطة.
يعطيك العافية.
حياك الله يعطيكم العافية.
محمد عمار.
Hi. I would like to thank first Dr. Shaker and Engineer Maha for their presentation. And my question, I think, is what did you wish to know before joining your career, whether it was the industry path or the academia path? Let's say that you were expecting something, and let's say that 90% of your expectations were true, but what was the 10% thing that you did not expect or you did not like about your path?
Okay, so I want to tackle the question from a different angle. I did summer training during my university years at Bahrain. So what's good about training is that it exposes you to the work environment, it sets expectations, it eases that shock, that transition between university and work. So for me, I used to come to Bobco in the summer and train. So I knew the expectations. I knew the what I would be involved in. So in terms of being in the office and then also going to the field and being involved in some hands-on work. So I feel like advice for me is to, again, try to do training, put your foot in different places and see what you like and what you're passionate about and try to pursue that. In terms of what I didn't like, actually, I really like my job, alhamdulillah. So that's, again, I urge you to find what you're passionate about, what you want to learn. And as Dr. Shaker said earlier, if you're passionate about something, it's easier to wake up in the morning, go to your job, and do it diligently. Yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, for me, as I said, yani still I don't feel that I'm coming to the job, so that question doesn't apply to me probably. But of course, there are always things that you wish if it was different. For example, when it comes to research, we all know that there are countries or regions in the world which are have more capabilities in terms of research. But of course, this is also our job as faculties and university to promote research and enhance its level and the interaction between academia and industry.
All right, thank you so much.
Jazakallah, Muhammad.
Thank you, Fatima.
دكتور أنا عجبني كلامك لين قلت إن what life if you don't enjoy your job. وايد عجبني كلامك، فقلت إن الإنسان لازم إنه يترك بصمة، يعني بصمة خير. إذا مات خلاص بيكون حي في قلوب الناس، فلازم يكون إنسان ملتزم عشان يكون ناجح ويكون عنده وايد طموح، يعني ما يوقف كل يوم تزيد طموحاته، ودايما يطمح إنه هو يكمل في الهندسة الكيميائية ويكمل كل الشهادات، يعني ياخذ بفكرة التعليم المستمر. وحابة أقول المهارات اللي لازم تتوفر في كل مهندس، وهي كالتالي: لازم يكون عند كل مهندس مهارات التواصل بالعربي والإنجليزي، ويكون عنده تفكير نقدي ويقدر يحل المشكلات، ويكون عنده قدرة على استخدام التقنية ويقدر يعمل تحت الضغط، وهاي أهم شيء، لأن هو المهندس يعني في وايد مجالات حق الهندسة، يعني في وايد أماكن ذي المهندس بيشتغل فيها لأن سوق العمل واسع، فلازم يكون عنده ذي إنه يقدر يعمل تحت الضغط ويقدر إنه هو يعمل ضمن فريق، ويكون عنده الحماس والرغبة في إحداث فرق. وأهم شيء أهم شيء أهم شيء أهم شيء عشان يتم ذي كله لازم يكون عنده مهارات في القيادة، يعني تكون شخصيتك قيادية. إذا ما كانت قيادية مو مشكلة، يدش دورات تعلمه إنه شلون يكون قائد. وبعد إنه لازم يكون عنده فكر إبداعي ويقدر يبتكر، لأن أنا عرفت إنه في سنة التخرج إحنا يعني بنصمم مشروع لنا إحنا، فبيكون بإبداعنا الخاص، يعني بيكون المشروع ذي رمز لنا. ولازم بعد إنه يكون عندنا خبرة عملية، نفس ذي اللي قالوا قبل شوي شو اسمه تريننج. هذه هي الخبرة العملية، إحنا لازم نشتغل عليها في الإجازة الأخيرة من التخرج اللي هي في الصيف بتكون، يعني نكون يعني متابعين مع المجتمع، يعني إذا طلعت إعلانات عن أي دورة على طول نشتغل، يعني ندش فيها، يعني ما نطوف ولا فرصة. وبعد شنو، وناخذ بالمسؤولية ونكون مبادرين، ويكون عندنا مهارات تحليلية ومهارات اجتماعية. وشكرا.
Thank you فاطمة.
شكرا فاطمة بتأثر. كلام جميل. I will always say that. And I'm looking forward to see you inshallah in the reactor design course. I think يعني thank you for summarizing what we said in Arabic. And probably شكرا الله that puts a conclusion to today's event. شو رأيك؟
إيه دكتور مسامح, we took a very long time. There were a few questions but maybe I don't know void يعني صراحة. Okay, we'll just take a group photo, and before that I would like to share something with you. Okay, just a moment please.
Ali, it gave me a message that there's only a few minutes left. It will not close automatically?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, let's hope not.
عشان قبل ما يقفل.
Yeah.
Let me just share the screen. Please accept this from us as a letter of appreciation to you, both of you, and Ms. Maha, and we'll be sending it to you. And we just would like to conclude. I would like to thank all of you for joining us, and sorry for taking so much from your time. If you may, we will take a group photo now, and if you would like to take part in it, please turn on your cameras. Okay. Okay. All right, everyone. Smart. Oh, there are more joining. Just wait. Okay, just give it one more minute. Okay. Good to see you all.
Hopefully, we'll see you on campus soon, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, everyone.
And hopefully, we'll see also Engineer Maha also teaching with us next semester or the following one, inshallah.
Inshallah, Dixon.
Inshallah.
Okay, thank you all. And I don't know if you would like to answer the questions, I will send them by text. Yani, if you have the time, we can send it to the people who ask the questions. Okay.
يعطيكم العافية. Thank you.
يعطيكم العافية ومع السلامة.
مش تنظيم موفقين إن شاء الله.
أشكرك دكتور. Thank you all.
مع السلامة.